Hello students, hi friends. Welcome to all of you again, Autotech Expert. Today, as this session is going on, top interview questions for mechanical engineering, IC engines, automobile engineering and production engineering we have completed. Today a new subject with machine design, which is very important for mechanical engineering field, and as per the demand of the students, those who are working with MNCs and other sectors, and also those who are studying now, going to face the interviews as well as campus placements, they are asking for this top 15 questions from machine design field. So we have selected from various sectors by considering various things, top 15 questions from machine design. So all of you, please go through this video completely, and if you like, please share and subscribe so that everybody will be benefited. Today we have with us this eminent personality, Professor Sivakanta Sahu, who is a NIT alumni, more than 20 years of teaching experience with this specialization on machine design. He has a reputation in Odisha as well as outside some very good organizations visiting faculty. So let us start with Professor Sivakanta Sahu, give you one very good insight with this design field. Hope all of you will enjoy. So let us start with that one. The first questions come here. Define fatigue.
Okay, fine. The fatigue is a failure phenomena, or to predict the failure of the material when the material is subjected to repeated load or the varying load. That means load doesn't remain constant. That is called fatigue.
Second question, define factor of safety.
Factor of safety, it's a ratio. The ratio of the limiting stress or failure stress to the design stress is called factor of safety. Here, one thing let me point it out. Limiting stress. What is limiting stress or a failure stress? Because you know that the two stresses are there. One is the yield point stress and another is the ultimate stress. We are considering yield point stress is the failure stress for a ductile material and ultimate stress is the failure stress for a brittle material, divided by working stress, that is our how much stress we are keep our design.
Good. Next, what are the various phases of design process?
Okay. The various phases of design process. The first one is the recognition of your need for what you are going to design. Second phase, the selection of the material. Third, selection of the mechanism. Fourth, design your dimension of the material based on the stress formulae. Next stage, fabrication or manufacturing of the prototype. Next, testing of the prototype. Last, final production. After that, you can go with the marketing and all.
Question number 4, what are the different types of loads that can act on machine components?
Okay, so there are three types of load are there. One load is called the gradual loading, when the body is subjected slowly 0 to 100 gradually, just like applying the pressure or something. Second one is a sudden loading. Here the load is increased from 0 to its maximum value with no time. That means if I want to give a 100 kilonewton load, suddenly the load become 100. And third, last important, is the impact loading, when load is imparted on a body by applying a falling weight. That is called impact load. These are the three types of load.
Question number 5, differentiate between repeated stress and reverse stress.
Okay, fine. This is a good question. Repeated stress and the reverse stress, both are the varying stress. Here the intensity of the load doesn't remain constant. The intensity of load always changes. But when the load changes, that is called a repeated stress. Load is varying from 0 to 10, 5 to 20. That is called repeated stress. but the reverse stress is a special category within the repeated stress. Here stress is also varying, but the varying is always from the compression side to tension side with the same limit, minus 10 kilonewton to plus 10 kilonewton. What does that mean? The body is initially tensile, applied a tensile stress of 10 kilonewton, after that it comes to 0, after that again it is compressed to 10 kilonewton, again comes to 0, and this phenomena repeated. That is called reverse stress. So I can say all our reverse stress is a repeated stress, but all the repeated stress are not reverse stress.
Very fine. Question number 6. What are the types of fracture?
Basically the fracture are two types. One is called the brittle fracture, another is called the ductile fracture. The brittle fracture is ones where there is very minute yield phenomena or ductile region is there. It is very localized, but ductile material, here you can find a reasonable amount area of the ductile plastic deformation.
Question number 7. Distinguish between brittle fracture and ductile fracture.
Yes, I already gave the answer of this question in my previous one. In case of a brittle fracture, you cannot get a plastic zone. Here plastic zone is very localized, or I can say on the tip of the crack or tip of the fracture only a small plastic zone is there. But in case of a ductile fracture, you will get a sufficient amount of plastic zone. Here your dimension of the material changes.
Question number 8. Define stress concentration and stress concentration factor.
Okay, fine. Whenever there is a irregularity in material, irregularity means sudden change in dimension, change in shape, presence of any notch, hole, step, dimension, these are called the stress concentration. Presence of any irregularity in the geometrical dimension is called a stress concentration is there. It is called irregularity, and because of the irregularity, stress concentration is always present. Now, second part of the question, what is stress concentration factor? Again, the stress concentration factor is a ratio. The ratio of maximum stress to the nominal stress is called the stress concentration factor. Here, nominal stress, what we calculate in the stress strength formula, maximum stress, because of irregularity, how much stress is increased, that is the maximum stress.
Question number 9. Explain size factor in endurance strength.
Okay, size factor. Now, if a specimen deviates from the standard size, then its fatigue strength is decreased because of the size factor, because if the dimension of the specimen is bigger, it is more prone to the failure. For that, a size factor is used to recalculate the endurance stress of a particular material, which is called its size factor.
Question number 10. What are the modes of fracture?
Okay, fine. This is again a good question. There are three modes of fracture. One is called the opening mode, where the crack is opened up, and this is basically happen because of the presence of the normal stress. That is again important. The second mode is called the shear mode, where one plane is slide over another mode, sliding. That is called the second mode, shearing mode, and it is happening because of the shear stress. Third one is called the tear mode or anti-shear mode. Here the plane is twisted, two surfaces are twisted. Now this is also called a mixed mode fracture. Here both normal as well as the shear stress is involved.
Question number 11. What are the factors to be considered in the selection of materials for a machine element?
So lots of material is considered when the design is complicated, if the component, but the few parameters which are very important are: number one, we have to see what are the type of load is acting. That means what? It's a gradual loading or sudden loading or impact loading. Accordingly, we have to select the material. Second one is the what are the type of stress is going to be induced in the component. Accordingly, the selection of material depends. Third one is the what is the longevity of the component we require. Accordingly, we have to select the material. Fourth, what is the surface finish or the surface toughness or hardness we require. According to the material is again depends. Third, environment factor is there. Which environment my component is going to be used, that also you will see before selection of the material. So these are the few importance, but it may elongated more also.
Question number 12. What are various theories of failure?
Okay, here there are lots of theories of failure are there, but the most important theories of failure which are used are: number one is called the principal stress theory or Rankine theory. Number two, maximum shear stress theory, which is called the Tresca's theory. Number three, maximum or principal strain theory, which is called the Saint-Venant theory. Number four, maximum strain energy theory. Number four, maximum distortion energy theory, which is called the von Mises theory. These are the 5 theories generally used while we are designing a machine component.
Very nice. Question number 13. Which theory is used to design brittle material and ductile materials?
Okay, it's a good question. Okay, remember this. All the theory which is are developed, all are used to design the ductile material, because our mechanical components are all ductile material, I can say almost all. But only one theory is there, that only you have to point out, remember, put in your mind. That is the principal stress theory or Rankine theory. That is only theory used for the brittle material.
And for ductile material, what other theories we are using?
All remaining theories like our principal shear stress theory, principal strain theory, maximum strain energy theory, maximum distortion energy theory, these all theories are used for the designing a ductile material.
Okay, sir. Question number 14. Give some methods of reducing stress concentration.
Yes. So stress concentration is always a issue, because for that the stress is always increased than our expectation or the nominal stresses. Few things are there here. By looking our irregularity, which type of irregularity is present in our specimen, accordingly we have to change something in our geometry to minimize the stress concentration factor. So some examples are here. Number one, if it is a sudden change in cross sectional area is there, instead of changing suddenly, if I give a fillet, then the area is decreased gradually and my stress concentration effect is decreased. Number two, if one hole or notch is present in the material, instead of putting one hole, now side by hole, if I make two small hole, then what happens? The stress is, because the stress line becomes smooth and it also going to be reducing the stress concentration factor. Now in case of a threading, here if I put the threading area little bit larger than that of the nominal diameter, that also help us to reduce the stress concentration.
Okay, the last question, question number 15. What is the use of Goodman and Soderberg diagrams?
Okay, so this Goodman and Soderberg diagram are both having their own equations also. Both are related to the fatigue. Now fatigue life of a specimen is always calculated in terms of number of working cycles, or for time or number of working cycles. So this Goodman and Soderberg graph or equation help us to find out the fatigue life of a specimen under a particular loading.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It was a very nice session. I hope this will help our students very much. So thank you all. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.